Hey, it's your boy Deric coming to you live from inside my office. Again, my name is Deric Lipski. I'm with Keller Williams Real Estate, doing this for 20 years. 1,000 homes sold on my belt, hundreds of five-star reviews, and I try to give you the best advice I can when it comes to buying or selling real estate. So I have questions that are sent in to me from viewers, and sometimes they're in the comment section, and sometimes they email me directly. This one came in directly and it said, "Hey, Deric, when I sell my home, or how do I sell my home to an investor?" And the more way he worded it is, if I'm selling my home to an investor, like, how do I not get screwed in the deal? Okay. And it was a little bit lengthier than that, but I just try to summarize it. So he's in the process of maybe selling his home to an investor in a certain way. He want to make sure he doesn't get screwed. So his investors are an option for a lot of people. It really depends on a couple of factors I'm going to go over with you guys here. So hopefully this answers your questions. You can always sell to an investor. Usually happens for a couple of reasons, like I just said. Number one, the investors want your location for a bigger and better project. This is a huge win for you. Like if they're trying to rip down your property because they need 5 lots, yours is the last lot, they want to put a super mall there or run some kind of a street through or to make a access road to another property. Well, for whatever reason that is, he wants your property. That means a payday for you. Usually when investors buy properties, they buy it for far less than retail. But if you have a piece of land that he needs to create another project, then you're in the driver's seat there because he's got to get this from you. So that's when you can really find out, you want to ask him, why do you want the property and what are you planning to do with it? And find out, always check around the homes around you and that are touching your property, because you want to find out if he's made these guys other offers and what he's planning to do. If that's the case, you can charge a bit more than premium for your property. Number two, if the house is in terrible condition, then you want to consider using an investor, right? Because these guys are going to come in there and they're flippers. They're going to come in and fix everything up. They're not going to be a retail buyer. They're not going to give you retail price or anywhere even close to retail on the property at that point. If the house is in a terrible location, then you may want to go to an investor because the normal buyer wouldn't want to buy it. He may take this and just fix the house up and just rent it versus trying to sell it in the open market. If the house is in disrepair and it needs things, then he may buy it. And if the house has any failed systems, failed systems include had fire damage, Title V, plumbing, gas, kitchen baths aren't working, can't be sold to a conventional buyer or an FHA buyer, then you may want to consider, an investor, because again, these guys will take houses, put the money into them, and then put them back on the open market. But when they do this, they look at an equation. They want to figure out how they're going to do this. They always pay less than retail, and they want to make sure they have enough money that they're going to be able to put their money into the property, recoup that, and make a profit. Most of these guys want to run on somewhere between a 13 and 20% profit margin. So they're going to put that in there as well to see if that works, minus all their other costs they have with commission, and they use agents and stuff like that. Right. So again, this is why I just get back into my notes here. He just said he's going to rehab it, so he's going to make sure he's going to look into it. They usually pay you half what a retail buyer would pay you, or sometimes even 2/3 less. Because again, they have to put money into it. They have to, it's an investment for them. They want to make money on it. But there are benefits to working with an investor besides selling for less, which is typically how most investors get properties, and they get them as fire damage. They get them as insurance jobs, estates, just total disrepair or horrible location or something's wrong with the property. These are an investor would step in and buy that. So why would you sell an investor in the first place? If you're taking so much less, why would you sell an investor? A lot of people don't want to deal with the headache. So these guys alleviate a couple of different headaches. Number one, it's a cash deal. It's usually closed 30 days. There's no home inspection. It's sold as is. There's no BS. You can leave stuff there. They're going to get rid of it anyways. So in those situations where you just don't want to deal with this, you don't want to deal with repairing it. You don't want to deal with having to list it. You don't want to do any inspections. You just want cash. You want to get out of the deal, and you just want to be done with the deal. This is where an investor would step in and kind of try to give you, and you want to try to get the fairest price you can, like in any deal. Obviously, these guys are always going to lowball you. You can always negotiate them up a little bit more off that bottom line they have there. But that's some of the benefits of working with an investor. And I have investors, that I work with all the time. They're like, "Deric, find me a property." So if I run into somebody who's like, "Listen, my mom died. This house needs all types of work. I don't have 150 grand to dump in this house and make it so I can get top dollar. I just want to sell it and be done with this thing," then that's when I have an investor step in and still try to get them at the fairest price as I can with this. And I'm usually pretty good about these houses. Like I'll look at a house and I'll know pretty much right away, because I've dealt with these investors and all the investors that are out there. kind of how they think about things. So I'll tell the guy ahead of time, like, you're probably looking at X amount of dollars here because this is what they're going to probably offer you based on what work needs to be done here and what they think they can get for it in the open market when it's completed. And it's usually far less than, again, what you get from a retail buyer. But if it needs too much work, you can't sell to a retail buyer anyways. So it's either A, fix it yourself and put it back out there, or B, get an investor and have him do the work. And again, you take less, but you have a lot less headaches. I hope this answers your question. Any other questions, feel free to leave them below and smash that subscribe button. As always, I'm Deric Lipski. Thanks for watching the video.